Mm, New day. Mm. New day, new way. Turn it up, leaning 15 minutes. Let the change begin. Busy life, big dreams, so much noise in your ears. We cut straight through, make the next step clear. Thought for Thursday, real talk, real tools right now. In 15 we move the dial, simple steps, strong moves. You'll see how. Thought for Thursday, clarity that sticks. You'll feel it from insight to action, and impact that stays. Thought for Thursday, let's change a day.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thought for Thursday. I hope that you can hear me. It looks like we were going off there for a minute. I am so happy to be with you on another Thursday. It's exciting. We have made it. We've had a short week and we have made it to the end of yet another week. And I am talking to you this evening about a topic that we have kind of been building up to. I talked about it a little bit on Monday, and it was talking about your power years. We're going to expand on that just a bit. What do I mean when I say you're in your power years? Well, drop a hello, first of all, in the comments. Let me know that you're here. I want to make sure that I'm over on Instagram and that that is working for a change, because we have been having some problems over there. I believe that Facebook and LinkedIn are all connected, but if I could see a few comments over here on Instagram, that would make me feel a lot better. So we're getting right into it, though. I won't hang around too long. We're getting right into it because what I have tonight is good, and it's something that definitely applies to our audience. All right. I started earlier this week talking about feelings that we may be having when something is brewing, when we feel that something really needs to be birthed. All right. So if you've kind of been feeling, if lately you've been kind of feeling a stirring going on, like something in you is really waking up and just kind of refusing to be quiet, then this episode of Thought for Thursday is for you. I often laugh when I talk about aging, and well, several things about aging. And it's funny because something that we've noticed, and I don't know if you've noticed this with older, senior people older than you, when they really, I would say, get into their 70s and their 80s, they sometimes, I know in my family and people that I'm around, they sometimes don't have a filter, huh? They really just have no qualms about speaking exactly what's on their mind. Well, it's funny because I've noticed, and I'm not there yet, but I've noticed too that I'm kind of getting to a point where I realize that it is so much better to just speak what's on my mind than to think it and not let it be heard. Now, there's a place and a time for everything. I don't want to say that you just blurt out whatever there is, but I think as we begin to age and as we begin to go through life's experiences, we start to give more strength, more power, more focus on the things that help to make us clearer, on the things that are truly the desires of our heart. And so I say all of that to say this stirring could definitely be an inkling, something deep down that you've kind of been suppressing all this time, and you really are starting to feel like, okay, I just need to put it out there. Enough is enough. I don't care necessarily if this is going to impact something other than making me better. I don't want it to negatively impact anyone, but I also realize the importance of me getting it out there. So, what are some signs? All right. This is what I'm talking about when I say you've gotten to those power years. Those are the years where you really do feel like you don't want to do anything more that is going to totally exhaust you or anything that's really not going to profit you. You want to kind of move into a space where you are doing the things that you want to do, where you are experiencing the purpose that you want to live in. You're walking it out. Destiny is before you, and you see where it is that you're going, or you at least want to explore where it is that you feel you need to be. These are your power years. You've already put in some time, right? You've put in the time on the job that you've had. You've put in time just in life, period, life's experiences, family, experiences on the job, experiences in the community, things that you've already done. And it's time now to kind of take a different focus. You feel a little more freed up to pursue some other things. Those are your power years. So, what are some signs, all right, that you are truly in your power years? Well, let's talk about the first one that I have here. You feel restless in spaces that used to feel comfortable. The job, the relationship. You feel restless because the routine is just getting a little old, something that you're used to, in a routine that really no longer excites you. Nothing is wrong, except it really isn't where you want to be. Nobody did anything. There's no real crisis to talk about. Um, you know, it's just time, and you feel uncomfortable. You can't quite put your finger on it, but nothing feels like it's enough. You feel like there's more that you need. You find yourself going through the motions and wondering why it all feels, so hollow. I know we can relate to that. I can see you out there kind of nodding your head. So here's what I want you to know about that feeling. It's not, you being ingracious or being difficult. It's really expansion. It's the feeling of expansion. That is your spirit really kind of outgrowing that container it's been living in, all right, that we've kind of boxed it in. And the discomfort that you're feeling right now is not really a problem to solve. It's really more of a signal or a sign to follow. All right. What's another indication that you have kind of hit those power years and it's time to do something about it? Well, you keep starting sentences with, I always wanted to. Yeah. Okay. I can so relate to that. And I'm sure you can as well. I always wanted to start a business. I always wanted to write that book. I always wanted to travel there, try that, build that, do this. We have a lot of that. When you find yourself saying that really a lot, chances are you're in those power years and it's time to do and say and be all those things that you've been talking about wanting to do and say and be. Pay attention, all right, to what comes after that phrase, because it's not just nostalgia that we're talking about here. It's really you looking to what it is that you have desired to do, and you really need to focus on it. It's not living in the past. It's your next chapter, is what I'm trying to say. It's really the next chapter that you're trying to bring into fruition. So those I always wanted to moments are not accidents. They're invitations. And your power years are really the season. They are the years that you finally stop filling them or saying those things I always wanted to, and say, I am going to. Start putting some action to those things that you keep saying you wanted to do. What's another sign? Well, you're tired of performing a version of yourself that just doesn't fit anymore. I talked about that a little bit already. You're kind of going through the motions. You're people pleasing, perhaps, the shrinking, the careful way that you really manage what you say so that nobody gets uncomfortable, stepping on the eggshells, the way you make yourself smaller in rooms where you really should be taking up more space. And lately, that exhaustion is just kind of hitting you a little different, isn't it? Power years. It's not just being tired, it is a bone deep weariness with performance. You're tired, and it is just running deep. That fatigue, that exhaustion is running deep. And like your body, um, your spirit are both saying, we're done with this show. That means it's your power years, and it's time to actually move out on the stop the people pleasing, move out on the things. That exhaustion is not weakness, it is your authentic identity just fighting to come forward. It's the real you, okay? That is the real you refusing to stay in the background any longer. And I want you to realize that and have it come forward. Have the real you step forward. All right. There was this old game show, and I'm dating myself, where someone would pretend. You'd have 4 or 5 people on stage, and they would all be pretending to be this one person. And they would start releasing facts about themselves and trying to convince the person guessing who the real person was on stage, trying to convince them that they indeed was the real McCoy. And what would ultimately end up happening once the person put out who they thought the real guest was, then the commentator would say, now will the real person step up? That's what we want you to do. That's what I'm encouraging you to do. Be the real person. Be that person that you authentically are. Step up and stop hiding. All right. What's another sign? You are more drawn to women who are building something than the women who are just surviving. Yeah, because where you want to go, you are more drawn to the people who are going there, who are moving in that direction. And that's not a bad thing. That's not to say that you're leaving behind the audience, the group that you're currently with. Sometimes it may mean advancing a bit. And so there are certain circles that perhaps you may not frequent as much, and you give those up to be in the circles where things are advancing in the way, where women are advancing in the way that you see that you want to advance as well. You're tired of sitting in that box. You want to be around people, like minded people who are building. That's a sign. Your power years are here. Take advantage, move in them, get to building. And the last thing is, there's more, and you're done pretending that you don't know it. It's kind of what I was saying in the beginning. You're tired of just going through the motions. You want to speak your mind now. You don't want to go on being what it is that you have been all these years. Not to say that isn't a part of you, but you've grown and you're moving on. And it's okay to say that, yeah, it's time. Yes, my circle may have shifted. Yes, I want different things. I'm tired of saying, I've always wanted. All of those things are playing a part. This is probably, of the 5, this one might be, one of the most important signs of all. It's because the knowing is different from wishing. That's the biggest part of it. The knowing is that quiet certainty that kind of sits right here in your chest, and it's not going to leave no matter how many times you try to logic your way out of it. And we can do that. We're very good at doing that. But the knowing is still going to be there. And deep down, you are done pretending that it's not. All right. So those are 5 signs that your power years are here, and that it's time for you to move in them. It's time for you to stop sitting back and, like I said before, wishing that you had, or always having wanted to do something. All right. It's time for you to move out and make sure that you are no longer performing that old version of yourself, but living authentically as the person that you've grown into. Getting in those circles where women are advancing and doing the kinds of things that you want to do. You're tired of pretending, and that's okay. Go ahead and embrace those power years and step out in them for all that they are worth, because the time is now. All right. Now, I also want to tell you something before I leave you here today. In addition to these being your power years, all right, there is so much that can be done in support of you actually stepping out in them. So, in addition to the power years being here, there is so much opportunity for you to do those things that you want to do in these power years. And I have come up with something that I think is definitely going to help and push you in that direction. In a couple of weeks, I am doing a mastermind called Your Power Years Are Calling. We're going to go deep into this, into exactly this conversation that I started here tonight. I'm going to walk you through what it actually looks like to answer that call. I'm going to talk about a framework. We're going to talk about practical tools and, what it looks like to live these things out. You'll be amongst those like-minded women who want to live out their power years. So that's coming up on June 11th at 6 p.m. It is a free masterclass. And as you know, we have also incorporated the identity shift. That's a huge piece. That is the container that keeps all of this. So we'll go more into that as well. This is one of those pieces of the identity shift, one of those phases, one of those 4 modules. It'll probably hit a couple of them. So stay tuned. I'll be dropping information on how it is you can register for that free masterclass, again, coming up on July 11th at 6 p.m. All right. And that's it for tonight. For today, whenever you're listening and watching this, make sure that you go out there and embrace those power years. Start to do something to make things happen for you. Figure out where you are in the process. You might be in the recognition process where you are, recognizing exactly where you are. That's pillar 1 of the identity shift method. And this power year piece definitely helps to pull those things out. Go out, enjoy the rest of your day, your weekend, make it count. Go out and be authentically yourself, knowing that you've got a solution that works not just for you, but for someone else. So make sure that you touch things that need change, that need impact, because you have the weapon. You've got the secret sauce to make it happen. Go out and make sure that you are taking care of yourself. And all that you do, make sure that you focus on being well. And until I see you the next time, you make sure that you have a great one.
New day. New day, new way. Turn it up, leaning 15 minutes, let the change begin. Busy life, big dreams, so much noise in your ears. We cut straight through, make the next step